Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out is a sweet story of a brother helping his socially anxious sister get into the high school of her choice. This is the continuation of the extremely popular series Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. While this movie was slightly less intense as the main show, it still had all of the essence and vibes of the Mai and Sakuta dynamic duo. However, it was slightly underwhelming. Bunny Girl Senpai usually delivers a painful viewing experience with lots of tragedy and mishaps. In this movie, that was simply not the case. Mai and Sakuta had a cheery and calming time with one another, and there was not much focus on them, obviously. It was mainly looking at the tough time that Kaede had in transitioning from her former self, who, as you might remember from the show, forgot everything she knew because of the puberty syndrome, and her current self, who remembers certain things about that former self, like the fact that this former Kaede wanted to go to school with Sakuta. Kaede has two different options in this movie, and while she wants to follow her dreams of her former self, she cannot bring herself to ultimately follow through. And that's okay. The movie does not deride her for this, but it shows that everyone, especially with the current political and cultural climate, has his or her own path now. She ends up going to this correspondence school that is all online. Nowadays, it makes a lot more sense that school can be done in that particular way. I think everything has changed culturally because it is very acceptable to create your own path of study in school, and companies are more accommodating to non-traditional schooling when looking at people to hire. This movie was a straightforward example of someone not being held to conventional standards, and I, for one, appreciate the enlightened view that Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out delivered. I know that we love the witty banter between the main couple, and that is still prevalent all throughout this anime movie. However, it's very underutilized. My ultimate stance on this entire movie is that while there are some great lines and funny dialogue, there is not much of an entertaining plot. It is basically a little extra Mai Sakutajima content and an extremely decent storyline. Maybe the next movie or series will provide us with a more intriguing and intense tale.